What's up, YouTube? Welcome back. So I just want to come through and give my 2 cents on this whole Nicki Minaj fiance husband situation featuring Wendy Williams. you know, and just a bit of a disclaimer. First, this video is going to be basically a rant, more or less, freestyle. Not so much anything pre-written and no notes written down prior to. But also, you know, Nicki Minaj has the right to be with who she wants. And, for me, it's not really a big deal as far as who Nicki Minaj is with because I don't really care about Nicki Minaj like that. No shade. But I do want to talk about this situation, for one, as it relates to Nicki Minaj and Wendy Williams, but also, and more so, as it relates to the Black female collective, in general. So in regards to Nicki Minaj, again, Nicki Minaj has the right to be with who she wants, when she wants, whatever, right? But I found her response to this situation to be a bit much. Well, for one, like, I'm surprised that she even responded to this situation in the first place. But I guess it triggered her for one reason or another, which also I find a little strange because a lot of people have said a lot of things about Nicki Minaj and she has not responded to those things. Thus she has not given those criticisms of herself validity. But since she has responded to this situation, she has perpetuated this story and gave it more validity. So just her responding, just her responding alone has perpetuated this story. But the way that she responded is even more telling, because it turned into sort of like a shaming episode, for a lack of a better word. Like, she started to kind of like shame and maybe even guilt women, probably especially Black women, who kind of felt like Nicki Minaj settled, and also felt like Nicki Minaj should have got with a dude that got more money, you know. And then not Nicki, and then Wendy Williams came in the mix and co-signed Nicki Minaj, and I find that to be extremely strange, considering all that Wendy Williams has been through with the dude that she was married to for years. And again, we all know that that wasn't the first time that the whole cheating situation happened. It's just this time it just became just so public, and probably to the point where Wendy couldn't even ignore it anymore, right? Because Wendy may have even let her husband cheat as long as it was just kept out of the media. But, whatever, that's their situation. If it works for them, fine. But I did find it weird that Wendy Williams chimed in on this situation. But then again, hit dogs will holler, right? And she chimed in to defend Nicki Minaj's choice because in a way she feels like she's probably defending her own choice. Because right now she's kind of doing the same thing as she did before. But in this situation, I can kind of let it slide. I think, other folks will let it slide as well because, it's just maybe folks just saying, she's, rebounding and having some fun, some fun, maybe doing a little, little low-key charity work, you know what I mean. But nothing serious, like, she's not going to go down that route again, which she may or may not. But at this point, considering that Wendy Williams has like a kid and her kid is grown, probably not. She'll probably just end up being like a long-term dater, but not getting married, probably. And I've heard her allude to that before as well. Feeling like basically, marriage is for folks who want families, or, who are starting families and raising families and things like that. So, for Wendy, the situation that Nicki Minaj is in could probably work for Wendy, especially at this point now. It's not like we gonna really see Wendy Williams really leveling up With who? No shade, but really, with who? You know? And with in regards to Nicki Minaj, I don't like. I feel like Nicki Minaj, to an extent, can't level up in some respects. So she lowers the bar, and I think black women in general, some, not all, but some, tend to do this, where black women will shame other black women who want to level up in one way or another. Whether, oh, black women who want to get married, then it's all like, well, marriage don't really mean a thing. It's just a ring. It's just a piece of paper. It don't mean that your relationship gonna last just because you got married. Sort of things like that when it comes to marriage. Then when it comes to the women wanting money or dudes with money, then it's like, oh, women. Some women are really materialistic. Very money hungry. You know, selling their what's to the highest bidder, as Nicki Minaj said, right? Trying to equate you to being a hooker or a prostitute or a sex worker of some sort. And you'll see this also play out when black women are talking about considering are just expanding their dating options and dating interracially. You'll definitely see this play out when it comes to black women amongst other black women too. Whereas like, they just go into the Black King songs, only a black king will do, because if it ain't a black king, then it don't mean a thing. Oh, black king, it don't mean a thing if it ain't about you and us, baby. I will be lost without you, black king, oh black king. It don't mean a thing. I don't care about a ring, long as it's my black king, right? And they come with the Black King songs, right? And then the swirlers, they be coming with they no nigga die infomercials, right? They no nigga die commercials, talking about I've been on this no nigga die for 1 month and my credit score has jumped over 200 points. I tell you, I cannot recommend this no nigga died enough to my fellow sisters. And also, I no longer feel pressured to twerk it. Instead, I feel compelled to date men who work. Thank you for recommending this no nigga died. I will tell all my friends about it. And then you got the other infomercial where it's like, ever since I got on this no nigga died, I've been able to date outside the hood. I found a white daddy that treat me real good. Doing things that a real man should. Doing things that you fuck niggas never could. And I have truly found my happily ever after. And they said that the no nigga died when it worked from a ratchet hood bitch from Yonkers. Well, I sure proved them wrong. And then you got, they said that the no nigga died when it worked for plus size girls like me. They said that us plus size sisters couldn't get on the no nigga died. Well, let me tell you, this no nigga died works for the plus size sisters too. Because ever since I've been on this no nigga died, I have been able to get me a nice Latin lover named Alejandro Javier Hector Gonzalez Ramirez Lopez de la Cabeza de Vaca. And he put a ring on it and has whisked me away for a nice honeymoon vacation for 2 weeks in Argentina, his homeland. and we'll be doing the Argentine tango all night long, baby. So don't let them tell you that the no nigga diet won't work for a plus size bitch, cause let me tell you, I'm living proof that it will, sisters. So then you got the swirlers going at the non-swirlers too. Yeah. And I say all that to say that I think sometimes when I'll keep it to black women in this situation, when black women sometimes can't level up or don't want to level up for whatever reason, they want to keep the bar low, right? And as I said before, this has like a trickle down effect. Like this can get really dangerous in a way because it lowers the bar for the entire community in other ways. That's why I think to an extent the marriage rate is low, the out of wedlock rate is high, the STD rate is high as well. You know, black families aren't really investing in each other and coming together and building. That's something about that too. As well, black men don't feel the need to really come to the table with much of anything sometimes. So this is all dangerous, because it leads to normalizing mediocrity throughout the entire black community in one way or another. And, in regards to Nicki Minaj and Wendy Williams, like, they got money. They can kind of get away with some of the stuff because, again, they got money and they can bounce back. Even if they do get knocked up or whatever, they at least got the money where it won't really affect them too much if, like, the dude bounces and doesn't take care of the kid, doesn't pay child support. But the regular women on Main Street, it will affect them more, right? It will factor into their finances a lot more, right? And of course, everything isn't about money, but let's be real, money is important. I'm sure that we are employed, or either we're going to school to be employed, or either we're looking for employment at the moment with something. Are we retired, perhaps? Something that has, that ultimately relates to work, right? So yes, money is important. I think we all know that. It's not everything, of course, and sometimes we do put a bit too much emphasis on money. But Nicki Minaj has put emphasis on money. I mean, that's a lot of what her raps revolve around, as well as a lot of female rap. What they rap about revolves around getting dudes with money, getting dudes to spend money on them, not fucking with broke dudes, not giving them the time of day, this, that, and the third, right? So it's a bit strange that Nicki wants to switch it up now, which again is fine, it's her business or whatever. But again, I don't really know what the tirade was about, other than, perhaps feeling, because I do think some people have brought this up, and I do agree that I do think Nicki Minaj is somewhat of a narcissist, and I don't really throw that word around a lot. It's probably the first time I've ever even used this word on the channel, but I do think that Nicki Minaj is somewhat of a narcissist, like very much self-absorbed, very much just, very into herself and wants others to be into her as much as she is into herself as well, and wants everything to sort of revolve around her and wants to be the token chick. We've seen that play out before too, one way or another. And I don't think it was really necessary for Nicki to even come out and really say anything. You know, uh, I mean, people have said other things about her relationship choices before, right? So why did she feel the need to come out and say anything again for this particular relationship, right? And again, I didn't like that she was shaming women for, wanting to, pursue men who can upgrade them in some way financially, right? And again, like Nicki, she probably feels like she may feel like she doesn't need that as much because she has like a lot of money herself. So it's like, perhaps money isn't a big deal for her. But, nevertheless, um, I kind of can see this relationship going south real quick, you know. you know. But I also think that Nicki Minaj, I think I mentioned this earlier, but I think that she can't really level up anyway, as quiet as it's kept. I mean, she's a celebrity, but who's gonna really be interested in Nicki Minaj? I'm not saying that Nicki Minaj is ugly or anything, but I think it's kind of like something about her persona that a lot of men who are, high caliber would avoid, you know. uh, and we kind of seen this sort of play out with like Idris Elba and K Michelle. We've seen that kind of play out too, where it's like, yeah, they did it for a minute, but I think we all knew that wasn't gonna last. We all know K Michelle is way too much of a hood rat for Idris Elba, all right? And I think that's sort of the case with Nicki Minaj to an extent. It's like, I think Nicki Minaj knows that she can't really quote unquote level up all that much. So she just kind of wants to keep the bar set low, right? Maybe she thought that she could when she was singing and rapping all those raps and whatever. Maybe she thought she could until she actually got into the circles that these dudes run in and realized that, hey, she can't really match up with the women that they're interested in, right? She doesn't really match that persona, or match that profile that of the women that they're interested in, which is fine, you know. But I'm just saying. And we all sure as hell know that Wendy Williams can't do that shit. We sure as hell know Wendy Williams can't do that. She just gonna have to settle for what the fuck she can get, right? So you see this, right? You see this when when the women know they can't really get the top prize in so many words. Then it's like, oh, well, the bottom prize that's what it's really about. That's when they start normalizing, oh, y'all money hungry. It ain't all about money. Oh, it ain't always about trying to get a ring, Y'all need to build a brother up. Shit, stop being so materialistic all the time. Then you see all that shit playing out. All right. So, yeah. But I'm going to bring this video to a close. That was just my little rant that I wanted to go on, give my 2 cents about this situation and see what you guys think. Because, as far as like the major part of this that I really want to drive home is the whole normalizing mediocrity within the black community and how black females, unfortunately, do play a role in this as far as normalizing mediocrity in the black community, and as well as normalizing it when it comes to black men. And not all, but a segment, a very vocal segment does it, right? I just needed to really point that out because I think that is sort of going overlooked. That really needs to be pointed out. And like, why is this happening? And as I explained, I think it's happening because these women either don't want to level up and get to a higher level and be the best version of themselves that they can be, or either they can't. So then they just lower the bar so that they can save face, since they know they ain't gonna get a wedding ring from no nigga. They know that a nigga ain't gonna buy them shit. They know that a nigga ain't gonna spend and invest any money in them or their relationship all that much. They know that other groups and other races of men ain't really checking for them like that. They know that they can only get hood niggas that just got out of jail serving 11-year sentences for manslaughter and rape. So because they know all that, they want to save face. They don't want to look like a bum bitch. They don't want to look like the bitch that can't get a good nigga. So they lower the bar. So there you have it. So thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. And to the next video, adios and goodbye for now.